Apprehending a suspect typically takes officers hours, but what occurs when offenders are caught within mere seconds? From the most disastrous bank heist ever to kids swiping cars for TikTok clout, here are a few of the most humiliatingly quick captures in law enforcement history, beginning with Antoine Sims, who phoned police to gripe about cold fries at McDonald's, only for officers to discover he was a fugitive murder suspect.
He gets the fresh fries.
Okay.
He said, okay, the fries are not hot. Touch the fries. I said, no, they're not hot. At this point, you don't touch them, so, you know, you have to get it fresh set. I said, can I also get the receipt? That was 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, sir. 5 minutes ago, I can run my store however I want to run my store. He said, matter of fact, you can leave my property. Get off my property now.
After speaking with the officer, the store manager says he's willing to issue a refund, provided Antoine never enters his restaurant again. But as the investigator entered Antoine's name into the database, he uncovered the last thing he anticipated from such a routine visit.
Person, caution, violence, armed and dangerous.
It's a homicide warrant out for the exact man who contacted the authorities to begin with. It turns out Antoine had previously been taken into custody for torching a car with a woman trapped inside but never appeared in court to deliver his final plea. Amazingly, he ended up guiding the officers straight to his location. All they needed to do was bring him in.
Just come over here and have you sign this real quick.
I said, I'm not under arrest.
No, you're not. Fill this part out.
Can I see it, sir?
Yeah. Can you come over here, man?
No, I'm afraid of y'all, sir.
Why are you afraid?
3 years, sir.
Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it out.
Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it out. Am I
All right,
arrested?
yeah.
No, let's take it.
Car. Got him! Contact! Contact, backside!
The officer was able to get close enough to Antoine and used a stun device, making it easy and swift for them to arrest him. Antoine was later charged with murder, criminal trespassing, and obstructing law enforcement, and was locked up to ensure he'd never flee again. Antoine was certainly old enough to know better, but the offenders in the next incident weren't even old enough to attend high school. On April 11, 2022, authorities got reports of a vehicle stolen from Bayshore Mall. An hour later, an officer spotted the car and activated his lights before it instantly sped off, triggering a pursuit.
2 flat tires on the driver's side. They're wrong lanes. Traffic again. There's no traffic though. Coming up to heavy traffic. Alright, we are east of Bender, back in pursuit. We're in the correct lanes of travel. East of Bender, approaching the parkway.
Earlier, officers successfully struck the vehicle with a stop stick, a tool designed to deflate the tires of a fleeing car and reduce its speed. Police confirmed they had punctured 2 of the vehicle's tires, yet the driver refused to ease up, even as the car began to physically break down.
Their car is falling to pieces right now. They just lost their back tire and their back bumper. Coming up to a red light at Bender and Port. Nearly missed the vehicle, slid out of control.
The vehicle spins out just as a second squad car closes in on them, but the suspects abandon the car and take off on foot. In total, 7 individuals exit the vehicle, but both officers choose to pursue the driver who fled to the left.
They're running behind 8, northbound. Police! Stop! I'm releasing the dog! Driver, black, male, red sweater.
During the pursuit, however, officers relayed the positions of the other suspects over the radio, enabling additional units to attempt locating and capturing all 7 individuals.
Get on the f***ing ground! Get on the f***ing ground! Get down! Get down!
Car, I am warning.
Get down!
Okay, I'm down.
Clearly, this girl didn't appear to be dressed for a high-speed chase, and officers soon discovered she was only 13 years old. One after another, all 7 individuals from the vehicle were swiftly caught and taken into custody.
Out! Let's go!
Although the arrests weren't immediate, the officers did a remarkable job tracking, capturing, and detaining 7 different suspects at once in record time. Once they were all in custody, it became evident that every suspect was a minor under the age of 16, with the youngest being only 12. They also confessed that the entire motive behind stealing the car and fleeing from police was a TikTok challenge. It's truly a miracle none of the kids, or anyone else on the road, were harmed. Lives could have easily been lost if the driver had simply dozed off behind the wheel, just like professional football player Marshawn Lynch once did, literally.
Still sleeping?
Police discovered Marshawn asleep in his vehicle, which was in a completely undrivable state. The front driver's side wheel had neither rim nor tire, and both tires on the passenger side were nearly coming off. Officers detected the scent of alcohol inside the car, and based on the condition of both Marshawn and the vehicle, they had to suspect he'd been driving while intoxicated, crashed, and then passed out at the wheel. However, the officers couldn't proceed with the investigation unless he exited the car, which Marshawn refused to do.
Obstructing an investigation. That is a criminal offense, and you will go to jail. There's not different kinds, there's only one kind. Failure to obey a command by an officer or lawful order is obstruction. So it's your last chance. Step out of the vehicle for us. Everything is understandable.
Okay, step out, please.
All I'm asking is, why will I not be pulled out? Get on your phone. He does smell like alcohol. Yep.
At least Marshawn won't be hit with a resisting arrest charge, as he likely surrendered more easily than anyone ever featured on this channel. Tests revealed Marshawn's blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit, and he's now facing charges for DUI and operating an unregistered vehicle. Surprisingly though, this bank thief was caught even faster. The police were so well prepared, he didn't even get the chance to put up a fight. In July 2023, officers in Ohio responded to a break-in alarm at a nearby bank. When they arrived, there were no obvious signs of forced entry, but after a closer inspection, they noticed a flashlight beam coming from the ceiling. The cops then positioned themselves where they anticipated the suspect would try to flee, and waited for him to come right to them.
Get out.
As the burglar dropped through the ceiling, he was met by two officers aiming their firearms straight at him, and landed directly in the trash. Despite the seriousness of the offense, this thief was only taken into custody once and likely served a lengthy sentence. Devin Whitmer, on the other hand, managed to get himself arrested a staggering 24 times, with this being the quickest. On May 13th, a patrol officer spotted Devin loitering near some homes in his neighborhood, where he attempted a bizarre tactic to dodge yet another arrest.
Is it Whitmire? Yeah. What's that? Devin? Tevin. Well, do you recognize me? Do you have ID on you? Because I know you have a twin. Did you talk to somebody over across from Lee Garden about a couple days ago?
1837.
Do you have ID on you?
Devin insisted he was actually his twin brother, Tevin, but officers weren't fooled for long, as his tattoos clearly gave him away. Since there was an active warrant for his arrest, the police informed him he was being taken into custody, news that Devin was clearly not thrilled to hear.
Okay, well, can y'all back up so I can get my gun off here?
Where's your gun at?
Don't worry about it,
No.
If y'all,
Relax. We're not gonna fight with a gun in the phone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I know. Hey.
Hey, y'all, we just spoke.
Down.
Oh, this is flat.
Following a brief scuffle involving some shoving and twisting, Devin was taken to the ground and handcuffed just a minute after officers properly confirmed his identity. He kept resisting until he was secured inside a squad car, but in the end, it only led to an additional charge of resisting arrest on top of his already extensive record. Without a doubt, the most intense and rapid arrest, however, belongs to Taylor Williams, who managed to escalate a straightforward request into something far more serious.
Y'all are racist as hell. Y'all didn't do shit.
Officers were dispatched to a house party for a trespassing complaint, where they encountered Taylor, who explained that after a few disputes, the host had thrown her out of the gathering. At first, it seemed like typical teenage drama, but it quickly became clear why she was really told to leave.
There was no fight that happened tonight?
No.
Okay. Monkey, did you go talk to the other security guards?
I don't care. The security guards are racist. I don't give no fuck what they say. They gonna say shit against me because I don't live here.
Okay.
That Mexican ass bitch right there. I was trying to talk. I don't care.
I know, but here's the thing. You don't want to be causing a scene with everyone.
I am, because y'all not listening to me, because y'all not gonna do nothing. Because the last time we got into an altercation, y'all didn't do nothing.
What am I doing right now?
After getting into a dispute with one officer, she storms off to stir up more conflict with others at the party. At this point, the police have no urgent reason to arrest her. They simply want her off the premises so things can settle down. But when she returns and refuses to de-escalate, they're forced to take more drastic action.
Y'all getting on the wrong people. Y'all trying to tell me I'm the bad guy. When you see him cursing me out, but he kept talking to me. But what, he called me a bitch though. Okay, but then you need to ban him. Okay, because he called me a bitch. I don't get no. He's drunk. He's drunk. No, I'm trespassing. He drunk, and I'm trespassing. But they let me in that bitch with your drunk ass. Look at him.
Man, I'm gonna explain the legal justification to you.
I don't get no.
That's it.
Okay, but at the same time, they said that she was here first, and they kept letting her in and out.
That matters.
Y'all are racist as fuck, and I'm gonna tell. I don't get no fuck. Y'all are racist as hell. Because when I press charges, y'all didn't do shit. Y'all let them do whatever they want to do, and y'all let them do coke in that bitch. You gonna arrest me then?
Okay. If you're refusing to leave, that's fine.
I'll leave. Let me leave. Let me leave! Let me fucking leave!
You're done!
The arrest didn't take much time at all, but it was still long enough for Taylor to rack up 2 charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer.